Hello, everybody, and welcome to another stream. Welcome to the weekend, which is always good. Hopefully, your week went well, um, and I uh, um, I hope the weekend is going good too. So, thank you so much for stopping by. And as usually, let's get into with some of the updates, like I always do in the beginning, and let's see some of the things that I was working on for this past week, you know, outside of work and everything else, but I did manage to achieve some things. Hey, Atlantica, welcome. Happy Saturday. All right, so let's get to it. One thing that that I wanted to do, excuse me for a sec, and hopefully the audio is coming in okay as well. And so yeah, one of the things that I wanted to do is And my apologies, the performance is not going to be great. I have like at least a couple of dozen tabs open, so there's like all these things at the top. So these ones I think I can close. But yeah, it's you'll see that there's like a ton of these like this around here. So actually there's more than a couple of dozen. I think it's more like 30 tabs that I have open. So that's unfortunately um I was working not fortunately and unfortunately on the side of performance and what you see in the editor. I'm currently working on quite a bit of AI stuff and I had a bunch of tasks open, a bunch of like behavior trees open, so that's why the performance might not be the greatest. So I'm not sure if I think they might be more than 30, but there's at least 30. So you can probably count them. But and that's again with like counter browser windows and like two content browser windows. So yeah. But um, but yeah, it's just gonna keep them open because it's easier to get into them once I do each one of the tasks, each one of the service, each one of the behavior trees for the AI, for the NPCs, for so I'll show you some of the stuff that I've managed to do this week for that. But as I was saying earlier, I wanted to I'm gonna at least try to minimize these. Maybe it's gonna run a little bit better, I hope. I'm not sure, but so what I was trying to do is also give the player the kind of telling them where they are on the map, right? So what I did is I've created, well, haven't created, but repurposed one of these. And if you really know the marketplace assets, you might be able to recognize it where it's coming from. So I wanted to do one of these in each one of the zones. So this would be like a zone one, kind of just like an announcement window, So I kind of placed them around in this area. Then, zone four is going to have one placed around here. Um, and so it's gonna say, instead of one, it's gonna be four, zone four. And there's also like an announcement. So we'll jump into game and I'll show you what that is. And yeah, let's do it. Let's hopefully let me turn on the desktop audio and you can let me know if hopefully the audio is coming through. Uh, Yui, did you use open dozens of tabs you might be in conversation? Yeah, I didn't think of that, but that's a good one. Though one of the things that I think I'm running into this now in 5.4 is, and because you probably haven't noticed the loading screen happening while everything loads on the back end. So I think that's due to some changes they might have done to how the world partition behaves. So I need to look into why that is. Maybe it's just broken. I mean, it's not like that hasn't happened before, but yeah. So along with that, what I was looking into is also dialogues. So generating, and you'll kind of hear at least a couple of them. One of them coming from the enemy AI, and one of them coming from this announcer class that I've created, blueprint. So let's see. Hopefully you can hear it.
Zone 1 curfew in effect. Stay indoors.
So now the audio
Zone
repeats,
1 curfew in effect.
and it's kind of just around that
Stay
billboard.
indoors.
I just need to add it for this one as well. This one doesn't have it. Um, so what that does is it actually plays a
Zone 1
few
curfew in effect.
audio clips depending on what I choose. So
Stay
basically for
indoors.
the other zones, it's going to be different audio clips. Um, oh, cool. Thank you so much. If it's not loud enough,
Zone 1 curfew in effect.
at least from the audio mixer that I'm seeing
Stay indoors.
in OBS, it goes up once that happens. So I'm hoping you can hear the audio coming from kind
Zone
of
1
just
curfew in effect.
letting you know that there's a curfew in effect. Um,
Stay indoors.
okay, so along with that, what I did is I was telling you about
Zone
the
1
AI.
curfew in effect.
So yeah, you can see that as I move away, that the audio fades. It's got a special spatialization around that area. So let's also look at the enemy AI and what that does. So what I'm going to do is I'm quickly going to place another enemy in here, and I'm going to have him walk around the fence, just kind of patrolling the perimeter of the fence. And at the same time, what I wanted to add is I wanted to add my safe zone. So I was telling you guys that these zones, there are in between the kind of this perimeter fence. They're like safe zones, so the enemy won't shoot at you, won't attack you. So what I did is I improved on that safe zone on that blueprint, as well as coupling that with the enemy AI, so that once when you're in that when you're in the safe zone, the enemy AI won't attack you. But I have added a little bit of behavior so that it's a little bit more, and it's pretty basic at the moment, but it's a little bit more dynamic in regards to how the enemy behaves when you approach it. So yeah, you're going to be behind the fence and the enemy is going to patrol around here. But if you close in on the fence and the enemy is kind of closing in on you, it's going to react to, hey, get back from the fence. So it's going to be a little bit more of a, participation from the AI. So let me show you how that works. So first I want to place in a safe zone. Thought I called it safe zone. What did I call it? Hey, Effets, thank you. Thank you so much. Glad to have you. Um, so let me search for that safe zone here. Where is it? I thought that's what I called it. What did I call it? Area. I didn't call it special area. Oh man, I hate when this happens. Like sometimes when you do things by yourself, you get to a point where there's like so many things going on there. I'm like, what did I call that thing? AI. Oh, that was a brilliant design name. I labeled it safe zone, but I called it AI enemy ignore player. So, uh, oh, hey, no worries, no worries. Google Translate is always very helpful. So, I think I understood what you're saying. Nice. Scroll again. That's all. Those are so fun. Uh, I, I used to be a big fan of them, but they turn into, I'm not sure if that's like how people wanted or like the designers wanted to make them, but they got to a point where for me, and because I don't have a lot of this dexterity when it comes to some of these like platformer games, um, that I've played a couple that I really was excited about. and I ended up kind of rage quitting just because they uh, they got to a point where the little thing that I had to go to move on to the next level was just so frustrating that I just I just quit. I quit the game. But um but yeah, it was so fun until that point. And it was like a series of jumps that I had to do, and I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get that done. So after trying a ton of times and just getting frustrated, I just abandoned that game, and I felt really bad because I really enjoyed it. Um, yeah, let's see if we can position this one up to the fence. Well, you'd be surprised. Even in a platformer game or anything, any kind of 2D scroller games, um, the kind of like the movement mechanics are not the difficult part, but once you add in like quests and um, what do you call it, like uh, enemies and AI for them, things can get complicated. Uh, so so yeah, don't think that uh, platformer game or any kind of like 2D game is uh, yeah, it might be um, with fewer elements, involved in some of them, but I I don't think any game is easy. I think that's one of the reasons that I love like game development because it encompasses everything. Like it's like an all um, what do you call it? All disciplines are involved in it. So that's why I really like it. Okay, so I've added the enemy. This is going to be like an enemy spawner, and now let's just add the patrol path. Let's see. So the patrol path is going to take the enemy kind of just going around the fence, and they're going to walk around and kind of act tough. So let's just add a few. This is just going to have maybe 3 patrol points. So we got patrol point 2, we got 0 and 1. Okay. So let's place these. Kind of one is going to be, I'm going to have this guy walk around the fence a little closer to the fence so that way we can probably see him react to our presence. So this guy has this patrol path in mind. Okay. So let's try this out. Hey TLP, welcome, welcome. Um, So I wouldn't call it a big game. Maybe a bit a big game for a single person to do, but um, and especially like a single person that has a day job and like uh, other responsibilities. But it's an ambitious project, I think, for myself since being self-taught and all that, no previous experience or whatever. Um, and yeah, I've been going at it for oh, so Maniac, yeah, I've been going at it for I started in the whole game development thing. I've started in 2013 and spent some 5 years with CryEngine, then started from zero in about 2018 with Unreal. So yeah, starting in 2018 up until now, so let's call it 6 years. Kind of starting from zero. Um, I had some knowledge and understanding of game development from CryEngine, but um, I um, yeah, I didn't have the time to do it full time. So it was just a part-time thing, kind of in the afternoons, maybe I would go like play some ball or something, and then I'd spend a few hours on this. So overall, it was less than part-time, like less than 20 hours a week. But there's times, especially during winter, where I try to spend a lot more because I don't do any kind of outdoors activities in the winter. But so yeah, Maniac Design. Hopefully that gives you an idea of how long I've spent on this. Um, Hey, another couple. Uh, I'm learning I want to start a top down with RTS element. So what kind of it's for me it wasn't I had this idea and I just wanted to chase it. So it wasn't so much as okay, this is not beginner friendly. But I've just started with kind of like the elements, the mechanics, kind of learning blueprints in parallel, doing like a little bit of world design and all that. So it's and things, right now they're starting to come along. Like it's kind of like a Lego blocks, right? So especially if you work by yourself, you learn some AI, you learn some blueprints, you learn some level building, you learn some lighting, you learn some uh, I don't know, like terrain sculpting, painting, and all that. And at the end, you just, in my case at least, I just start to put them all together into one thing, and hopefully they all gel, they all work together at the end. Um, so no lookable. I don't think. Um, yeah, I mean, you don't want to say that you're gonna build a Far Cry game, by yourself, um, or like a Fallout type of thing. So you gotta kind of keep it contained to some extent, right? There's um, there's no problem with having like the mechanics of something like Fallout and um, you know Far Cry, but kind of like the scale of the whole thing is what you gotta be mindful of. So yeah. If it's I going to release it on Steam, then how far is it left? So I do like just a few weeks ago I was able to get my account approved on Steam. So I should be able to start kind of finishing off the Steam page here within the next month or so. And I hope to have a demo out this winter. So this winter kind of extending from now until like, February, March, but I hope to have it before then. So the demo will include you coming into this world um, and having a few missions around the town. And that would be pretty much the demo. Oh, thank you, TLP. Thank you so much. Really happy you like it. And like Alana kind of saying, however long you think it'll take, double that time. And that's on a lower estimate. Yeah, so you got to be committed, basically, because there's a lot of people that start doing this and I think they quit early when they realize that it's going to take a long time. So and unfortunately it does take a long time. So but yeah, if it's hopefully that gives you an idea of the timeline um, for a demo. And after that, yeah, it's going to take a little bit longer, at least a year until I think, hopefully less, but until like the full project is going to be done. I think it's going to be less than that, but I don't want to, kind of overpromise and underdeliver kind of thing, which happens quite a lot. Um, oh, hey, Leartis Studio. Yeah, 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 I know that. I ha actually have a few assets from Leartis Studios. Yeah. Okay, so guys, let's get into and I'll show you I mean it's going to be a test for me in this level as well to see how um, how it works for the NPC, not the NPC but you as the player uh to uh to get close to the enemy and see how the enemy reacts. So let's try that out. See how this is gonna end up. I'm just gonna place you a little bit closer here, and I said that I also wanted to add the kind of the announcer. So this is what I've created. I've created this audio announcer, and what it does it actually just keeps on looping a few sounds that I place in here. If I wanted to set it to repeat and delay between sounds, so it just keeps on going and plays these sounds on a loop. And especially for like things like this, which is like this automated message kind of thing, if you think like a radio or something like that, that what that's what this would be. I also don't want to place it too far out so it doesn't like overlap with another zone. So that's why I'm just going to keep it around kind of here-ish. All right, so I should be able to hear it when I'm close to the fence. All right, and I think I've just wanted to add one more. So I have another one of these announcers like right around where this other sign is. Okay. So let's jump into game. And like I said, I'm gonna try and figure out why the world partition system is not properly um, like working as it was in 5.3. And again, maybe they changed something. Uh, don't really know what that might have been, but um, all right. So let's see. So there's like the audio coming in from that side, and I think I'm not entirely sure why the enemy hasn't spawned. Let me see. I think I might have set it a little too low. Let me raise it up a little bit. All right, let's try that again. And I'll also show you how it behaves once you exit the safe zone, because you're not going to be able to just kind of jump over the fence and then jump back in. I was gonna show you that in my test level. It's kind of funny. You kind of jump over the fence and it stops shooting at you, and then it keeps on patrolling, and then it um, it goes back to not shooting at you when you're not around. So yeah, like I said, my apologies. It's gonna perform pretty poorly just with all my things opened at the moment. All right, so there's the guy patrolling. So if I'm gonna stand close to the fence, let's see when he gets back. All right, so he's coming back on his patrol. So let's see if my thing still works. All right, so see he
Get back
stopped.
from the fence.
Okay, so it sounds a little bit robotic, but
Get back from the fence.
so once you get back, he's gonna resume his patrol path.
Get back from the fence. Get back from the fence.
And I was thinking of actually kind of changing it so that if he's gonna tell you too many times, then he's gonna start shooting at you until you get away. Um, but once you exit out of the safe zone, so now I'm outside of the safe zone, he should start engaging me. So yeah, I just um, he was about to kill me, but um, but yeah, that's basically how the safe zones work, and so he ignores me while I'm inside of the safe zone, basically this area inside of the um, inside of these sections of town. And once I'm outside of them, um, it's fair game. So basically, also once you're inside of the safe area, you can't use a weapon, because I mean that would be mean that you can like kill the enemies from inside of a safe zone. You're safe, but these guys can't shoot back. So it's so that's how I wanted to have this. Once you enter one of these safe zones, basically, as I was telling you guys, coming from the outside and going through the kind of the sewage system here to enter the first zone. So once you enter the first zone, you're gonna come in through here, and then you're gonna start meeting some of the NPCs in this area. So yeah, so that was kind of some of the updates on the AI and on um, some of these like audible announcements, so that you know the um, the AI also has like a speech kind of thing going on, basic stuff, but he's also not going to be just sitting there and looking at you all threatening or whatever. But yeah, um, maybe I think you should increase the detection zone for the AI when you're close to the fence. You know what? I think you're right because it might work a little bit better if I don't necessarily have to adjust the path to be like like this close to the fence. It could be he can walk on the center, and then it'd be more dramatic if he was to just walk up to you. The only problem with that is it might not be able to find the path point close to the fence. I was kind of having some troubles with that. So at this point, what it does, it just stops. Basically, he's like walking around the path. It focuses on you and it stops walking. So that was like the simplest way that I could do it. But yeah, the other thing that I worked on as well was and this was just, I had a couple of days where I just wanted to clear my head and do a little bit of level design. So I'll show you a little bit of an area that I was working on, and this is this one back here. You might have remembered this zone as being just this kind of messed up terrain that was in here, and which is right by the factory. So what I did is I kind of worked on, polishing this area a little bit and, kind of get a little bit of a stream going. I couldn't think of anything that I could do in here. I just wanted to get like some waterfalls coming off of the mountain there, and just create a little bit of a stream. And also trying to get this um, side of the map where one of the, you know, exits from the map will be exits that you can't take because they're blocked by those military trucks. Yeah. um, and the other thing that I was playing around a little bit with, because it's kind of Halloween and all that, it was this little cabin back here. So like right outside of the town, there's going to be some little shacks slash cabins, and so I was playing around a little bit with some of the localized volumetric stuff, and I ended up kind of making something like this. Uh, put a little couple of like eyes in there. Just this was like a little bit of a Halloween kind of stuff. How does the game perform in FPS in general? So, when I have it, the last time I had it built, it was so these areas around the town, and this was like before I actually, because there was some other optimization that I did this week, and I'll tell you about that as well. So, the last time I built it, like around these areas in the town, it was running around 45-ish frames per second, and that's on my 1070. So, um, and that was kind of before these optimizations that I wanted to mention. So what I did this week, and that was a little bit of time consuming, I went about and I actually, all these buildings that are not going to be enterable, what they used to have is they used to have interiors. So now what I have is there's no interiors. And if I want to turn on the interior for one of these, it's just on a separate level. And now, um, there's going to be no draw calls from what was before, like in the building interiors. And so that's going to be a pretty good performance increase. The other thing that I'm going to do, I haven't done yet, is as you can see, like all these buildings are like made out of modular assets. So turning this into a pack level actor will hopefully reduce the draw calls for these buildings um, to less than 80% less than what this one currently has, because as you can see, there's like four pieces right here, and that's going to turn into one draw call. But there's like multiple of these pieces in this entire building, and that kind of combined with all the other buildings in the city, um, that should reduce that quite a bit. because right now there's like a ton of draw calls that these put together, and you can kind of see that in my current frame rate. Of course, like 30 open tabs does not help, and that's why I'm really sorry about about it, because if I didn't have all these tabs open that are related to some of the work that I've done, um, it might have worked a lot better. So yeah, um, and it's kind of odd because like before streaming, this was running around 30 with the tabs open. I'm not sure why sometimes streaming seems to, take the wind out of its sails as well. So especially like when it's in the editor. But so my bad for that, guys. Like I said, I'm kind of sticking to the 1070 just because of trying to target um, a mid to low end machine, and thinking, in that case, something that's a more modern machine should run pretty well. What's your textile textile density? I wasn't sure. I can't remember what was was there a thing that could show you the textile density? I can't remember what the stat for that was. I can show that to you, Maniac, if you want to see it. Um, I'm not entirely sure. Is it material texture scales? I know there was one that was kind of doing that. Hey, Hamza, welcome, welcome. So yeah, but let me know if you can remember which one that was, because I can't recall which one that was. Okay, so that was my little rant on my current performance. So yeah, I'll definitely try and build it again within the next few weeks or so, just to do just to make sure that it still properly builds, because the last time I built it was in 5.3. So just to make sure that it properly builds in 5.4 as well. Oh, and actually, I remember I saw a question from somebody else. My apologies about metahumans and metahumans. Let me see. Oh, where was that? Oh, Nullable. Hopefully, it's still around. So, is metahuman for game worth it? Did you try CC4 or something similar? So the reason I use metahuman is that they actually um, are free. I'm not sure if CC4 is free, but uh, the I think one of the main reasons is like I can easily configure these guys, uh, these like crowd NPCs to this is like literally I think it was called like the city crowd sample or something like that. So I've implemented this one into my project, and what's cool about it is that um, you can set up through a data table a bunch of settings, which I'm not sure if you can set them up that easy with CC4, and create like different looking characters throughout the game. So you can change like skin texture index, um, like in this case, and yeah, it's like the fact that I have it selected and it has a camera on it, it also pulls the performance down quite heavily. But so I can easily change him just through these settings, like and the hair, um, like bald. Um, so then if I want to have mustache or not, um, then the outfit index. That's also just as simple to change. Like I've created a bunch of them, the ones that came from Unreal were not were very kind of professional like. So I'm gonna keep some of them. I've added a little bit of dirt on it, but it's um, it's pretty easy to do it this way. So, uh, and also I'm kind of familiar with metahumans, and um, yeah. Um, and the other thing that it has, and I think these might just have some broken materials, but the other thing that that this has is um, a good setup for the for what they call like an LOD sync. Basically, if you were to look at, let me see, where was the level of detail coloration? So if you were to look at LODs for these metahumans, you know, since they got a high number of bones, I want to try to like reduce them as much as possible. And this LOD sync does a pretty good job at that, and which I think is a plus. Um, so yeah, you can see like this guy is already in LODs 2, and as if you move farther away, you know, they switch LODs pretty quickly. So this is all something that's built in. Not sure if it would work with like a CC 4 character, like, uh, but um, but yeah, for me, you can see these guys as well. You know, they have like their LODs change with how far away I am from them. But that's one of my main reasons for it, and kind of just since you're gonna be able to get up pretty close to these characters, especially the ones that like walk around and stuff. Um, I really like how you can configure things within metahumans. I'm definitely gonna have like characters that are not that you can't really walk up to them. They're just like either like sleeping or they're like laying down somewhere, and so those are gonna be like the simpler skeletal meshes that you know they're not gonna even look at you or acknowledge you. They just sit there and play like a repeating animation, you know, like sleeping, coughing, whatever. Um, oh, oh, so Maniac, they're mostly all of them are 2K for the top resolution. And so I think that's as when it comes to per meter, um, I think that's about it. I think it might be some of the textures might be a little less than that. You know, there's definitely textures that are less than 2K, but especially for like the base color, most of them are 2K. You know, like for example, this one here for the tarmac would be that, um, and optimization view mode and required texture resolution. So if we were to look at optimization view modes, oh, okay, cool. Um, Undefined. Oh, I guess I broke it. Not entirely sure why it just shows as undefined. Maybe because it's preparing some shaders? I thought I was able to see this not so long ago. Preparing some more shaders? Uh, oh, you're right. Yeah. I forgot about that. So let's see if I go into this gas station here, for example. It's still trying to prepare some shaders. Yeah, I remember now that you mention it that you have to select one of these to see. But hmm, yeah, let me look into this and I'll see what I can figure out. I think you have to select the mesh, then texture and texture scene selection on the top. Oh, I see. Okay. Ah, gotcha. So, oh, thank you so much. Yeah, good reminder. But I was kind of hoping that you can select them all, but apparently not really. Um, okay, so I'm thinking this might be too much. I wasn't sure if it was like something that has to do with the distance, but I'm guessing the resolution is too high at this point. This is something that I was never really able to understand really well. You know, this part of the when it comes to like the texel density and like the texture resolution. This is still something that um, I'm not that good at. And that's what I was thinking as well, you know, something with the distance, but um, yeah, I'll definitely do a little bit more digging into it. Thank you so much for bringing it up. Um, yeah, so see, this is what's odd because now it runs at 27 frames per second. I wasn't sure what that one might have kind of completely killed the performance. Uh, so so yeah, and also like the kind of the agglomeration of these metahumans in here would probably wouldn't help. So yeah. Okay. Well, for the rest of the stream, guys, what I was thinking of, you remember uh, a while back I was showing you that you can enter the building through the window, right? And there wasn't anything going on with the window itself. Basically there was no animation showing that the slider window was being opened and then you would enter. It was basically just you going through the mesh. So what I was planning to do today, I managed right before the stream to separate this mesh properly. And what I was thinking of doing together with you guys is basically do this. Uh, so when you interact with it, open the window first, and then go through the window. So yeah, let's see what kind of trouble we can get ourselves into. Somebody asked me, I think last stream was, hey, do you do any blueprinting in during the stream? And I usually don't do so much because it's kind of, I wouldn't call it boring, but it's not visually pleasing. But for this one, I think it might be a cool interaction because it's kind of a nice thing to have, when you go through a window. But First of all, if there's any new people, let me show you what's actually happening. Yeah, so see this again, it runs a little bit better now. I again, I actually maximized all these tabs. So I, again, I'm not entirely sure how the tab management works and what's going on. But like right now, yeah, it runs at 30 frames per second here. So yeah, like I said, it's kind of a mixture of, streaming and probably many other things, like the how Unreal manages these tabs. All right, well, let me get the player. I kind of bring him a little closer so I don't have to walk all the way back there. And I'll show you what the current uh, how it currently works. Oops, where did I move this to? All right. So what we're gonna do is kind of just climbing on top of this and um, going inside the hotel. So let's see. current behavior, like how things are working at the moment, and then we'll try and get it so that it actually opens the door and opens the window, and then plays the animation to go through the window. All right, so let's get into this.
Zone 1 curfew in effect.
Yeah, and now see like the performance
Staying
just
indoors.
really dropped. And for whatever reason, I can't seem to mantle
Zone
on
1
this
curfew in
anymore,
effect.
which is kind of odd.
Staying indoors. Zone 1 curfew in effect.
I've noticed this happening before, and I could not figure out why this one is acting that way. And this as usual is a good test for me as well. Kind of trying to find some errors and like that. We might just go into the test level. It takes a little bit longer to like, because this is literally just jumping into like the full game. So we might go into that test level just so that kind of jumping into game
Zone 1 curfew in effect.
is a little bit quicker. And see, like right now,
Staying
the
indoors.
performance has tanked again. But yeah, let's go into my test level. I think I might have an idea as to why um, this is happening here. But I'll try and figure it out offline and show it to you guys tomorrow. All right, so these guys are like they're doing a flash mob over here. Um, And so these are going to be, I was telling you about these guys that are not interactable, but they acknowledge your presence, so they like look at you, but you can't like interact with them in the same way. Like I can go up to this guy or to this guy and like talk to them, and they actually have their own names, um, and they look at you. They will like kind of focus on you, rotate around you. Um, yeah. Okay, so let's look at the let's look at that window. And get that going. So I'm gonna place this in here, interactable window. So let's start right there. I think that actually, I'm gonna move this to the side a little bit. And let me get the player character, like this, my spawn point, and bring it here. Hey, no lookable customization for charters. Oh, um, yeah, I think I'm not entirely sure. Like I said, they do have this LOD sync feature, and I think from what I was able to tell, at least with 5.5, I think they have a new way of dealing with the how optimized um, the metahuman gets exported. And so I haven't tried that yet. I just saw somebody post it on Twitter as an option in 5.5. So once 5.5 gets released, I'll definitely test that out as well to see if it improves anything. Yeah, but again, it depends on how close you might get to the player. But I think yeah, you're probably right. I mean, if you don't need that up close kind of, facial animations and all that. You probably just as well with kind of a simpler character. Um, okay, so let me show you how this works. So basically, once you, oh, come on, dude, you already saw me? That was quick. All right, let's just move this off to the side a little bit so I don't have to deal with that the enemy. So basically what this would do
Set 1
is,
caffeine effect.
oops, let me turn this down a little bit. So
Same
once you
ghost.
interact with this, this is what kind of happens. So you just climb through the window inside of the apartment. And I might need to kind of lower this down a little bit. It's a little too high. So what I want to do is actually want to, once you interact, slide the window up, and then, um, basically this would happen, slide this up and then go through the window. So let's see if we can create some trouble. I think I might have shown this a while back as to what's happening when you interact. So I run an interface between my character and whichever you're interacting with. And in this case, I call this interact dot because it's based on a dot product. You don't really have to look directly at it, but in the kind of vicinity of where you want to interact. And and when that message gets sent, you know, whoever's the on the receiving end, it gets this message, through event interact. And in this case, if my thing is closed, I'm going to try and open it. So I'm going to test to see, if the interact state is opened, and then I'm going to set my interact state to interacting because I don't want anything else to happen when you're in this interacting mode. And then I disable the collision so I can actually, you know, um, even though it's probably not needed, but I just want to do it as a precautionary method. And then there's the door opening, which we'll probably use this one since it's already in place apparently, which is great. And then I set back the collision to be enabled. And let's see, where do I actually move the player inside? Oh no, actually, my bad. I'm looking at the wrong stuff. It's in here. So I implemented this here for this interactable window. And so basically, just like the door, which is an extension of the door, same things, if it's closed, then I set it to interact, disable the collision, and I also use a little bit of uh, a parameter here to say, well, is the player coming in from the outside or coming in from the inside? And so that way I know where to place the player once the animation is complete. I want to place him outside of the thing you interact with or inside. So, and then playing the montage, and I have a little bit of a notify on the montage so that when that you're like completed that section of the animation and you're in, then I can stop the montage and then transform the player to whether I'm inside or outside. Hopefully that made sense. If you guys have any questions, um, I, I I can answer those. Inallocable. Yeah, I'll dig deeper and test it out. And I think if you have me on if I have you on Discord, like on the Discord server for this game project, feel free to share your update because I'm also interested in how that goes. Um, yeah, and you're welcome. Yeah, my pleasure. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is somewhere in here in this general area. We'll place a quick timeline and just move this thing up. And once it's done, then we're going to play the montage and go through the window. So let's create some space in here. All right, so this is when I'm playing the montage. Let me actually try and get this one here so it's not so busy. Oh, come on, can I select these a little bit better? Yes. All right, gonna try and get these to be a little bit more aligned. All right, so what's gonna happen is I'm gonna switch to the montage camera. Another thing that I probably want to do is I don't think I'm doing it yet. I should be disabling input because I don't want the player um, to do. Let's see. Am I doing it here? Yes, I am. So one thing that I hopefully might be helpful to other folks is um, whenever I have a montage, basically like entering a car or going through this window, I at that point I don't want the player to be able to handle input or kind of to receive input. So you don't want to as you're climbing through the window start rotating the player around or rotating the view. So what I'm doing is I am first switching to a montage camera, which is attached to the player's head. So that way, if the montage kind of, the head goes down or like goes through something, it follows that montage along. So I'm disabling input. I'm activating the camera, which is this montage camera, um, and and then I'm just switching over to. I'm actually sorry. I'm not even sure why I have this camera here. I'm probably I don't think I need it. But then I run this set view target with blend. So I basically switch from my player camera over to this montage camera, which is I apparently you have to have it in a separate actor. So this is just a simple actor that has a camera inside. So, and just switching over to that. And then when I revert back, I basically just go the other way from that montage camera over to the main player camera, and then I'm enabling input. So that's what's happening here. I'm switching the montage camera, I'm playing the montage, I'm stopping the animation montage, and then I'm reverting back to the main camera. Okay, so right in here, after I switch to the montage camera, what I'm going to do is I am going to run that timeline. So let's add a timeline in here. This is going to be something just very simple. And this is going to be open slider. Okay. So the way I usually like to do these, so let's add a track, and I think a float track would be just enough. So this is slide up because it's gonna slide the thing up. And I'm gonna do it maybe let's do 2 seconds. I'm not sure if that's gonna be too long. But the way I like to do this is I like to do a add a key. So at point 0 it's gonna be 0. And then add another key, which at time 2 is gonna be 1. So basically it's just gonna be an alpha from 0 to 1. And I'm going to set these to be auto, so that's kind of like a smoother interpolation. Excuse me, I just need to grab some water between the 2 points. All right, sorry about that. So now that I have this in my event graph, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to try playing from start. But what this is going to be, it's going to be a slide up, and I'm just going to do lerp, I believe is what I've been using. And actually, no, let's just do I think it's like a lerp vector. Lerp transform lerp vector. Okay, so I want to grab my brick wall entry window. So this brick wall entry window, and I want to set relative location to this change, right? And I'm actually thinking this might be, since this one just slides up, I think a float would be fine. So let's do a lerp float. And sometimes it doesn't go directly into alpha. So on update, I'm just going to slide the window up, and once it finishes, I'm going to go into playing the montage and going through the window. So let's take a look and see what do we want our new location to be. So I'm going to split this up. And actually thinking whether I want, so this is just going to be the Z. Um, and right now, let me take a look at this one here. So its location is 0, 0, and this could be 0 here. And so that way these ones can stay at 0. But what my new location is going to be is going to start at 0 and it's going to lerp all the way to, I'm not sure, let's do maybe 50. What would look good in here? Let's see. 50, 60, 70, 80, to about 85, I think might be a good number. So let's go back into the event graph and call this to 85. Now let's compile and let's see what kind of mess this creates. So back in our test level, let's jump into game.
Zone 1 curfew effect.
Oh, that did not work as expected. It looks
Stay
like the thing
indoors.
moved up, but it also moved me in first. So not what I was hoping for. So we got this one, set relative location. Now let me try that one more time.
Zone 1 curfew effect. Stay indoors.
That is kind of odd. Oh yeah, another thing that I forgot to mention is
Zone 1 curfew effect.
the AI for the crow, which is something that is, yeah,
Stay
I know.
indoors.
But let's see, this is how it behaves now. So it just went over to that point and it's now just walking around.
Zone 1 curfew effect.
So it tries to fly somewhere in front of it, wherever it can reach
Stay
to,
indoors.
and it gets to that point and it just lands. And then you can like scare it again and then pretty much same behavior.
Zone 1 curfew effect. Stay indoors.
So, okay, that was just a kind of a side point. But let's see what's going on here. Why isn't this one? You can see like the window moved up,
Zone
but
1 curfew effect.
it also did not
Stay
do it
indoors.
as it should have had. It seems like it moves the player first. It's setting the actor transform. Oh, that's actually not, I don't think that's actually right. So let me see what's going on here. Hmm. Let's see if I don't play the montage just yet. It's a little odd as to why does it place it? Do I have these reversed? Like the where to place the character? Because one of them is going to be, you know, kind of the character being outside. So it's going to place the character in a position where the animation would play as best as it possible because it's again just a maximal animation. And then this would be from the inside. So when you go outside of the window, but I'm not entirely sure why that didn't Why that move the player first? Or it moved the player into the wrong position.
So one
So
curfew in
see
effect.
this like moving it over here. And now
Stay
I assume
indoors.
like the animation is already playing. So let's just not switch to montage camera just yet. And also, uh, let's try this. Gonna keep this as is and actually play this this timeline, play it before anything happens. So like before we actually move the player, we place it in here, and then we try to adjust the position of the player. I think that's what might have been one of the issues. So let's see. So we're interacting,
So one curfew in effect.
window opens, and there we
Stay
go. That's much
indoors.
better. And I'm not sure if I want to close the window like at the end,
So
but
one curfew in effect.
this should also, and that's
Stay
actually a good
indoors.
point. If I want to have, because I think when you try to interact with it again, it's going to try and open
So
it,
one curfew in effect.
like open the window, see it like starts at 0 again.
Stay indoors.
So maybe that, I'm just wondering if I should just close it at the end or not. You know, so basically here I'm playing this and opening it. But then once you come back in, um, do I want to kind of have it closed or, but maybe I could also check to see if it's coming from the outside. Hmm. Yeah, let's actually do it that way. So when it's if you're but you might be inside and you want to open it. So I think I'm gonna do it like this, and then I'm gonna use the same timeline to just close it once you're inside. So let's just do that. Once you revert back to the main camera, so let's reverse this from end, and let's see what kind of mess this makes.
So one curfew in effect.
All
Stay
right, so
indoors.
you're kind of going through the window, and then the window shuts. And then when you do it again, window opens,
So one curfew in effect.
and then you go through the window. Yeah,
Stay
there we go.
indoors.
I'm kind of okay with that. I'm just gonna speed it up a little bit because it's a little, I think it's a little slow. I mean, for 1 second. So let's just move this over to time of 1, and this one length is gonna be 1. Let's go back in here. I was kind of thinking you can reuse the timeline, but might be mistaken maybe. So let's just set this one to on as well. All right, let's try this and see if it opens a little bit quicker.
So one curfew in effect.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit better.
Stay indoors.
And the
So
only thing
one
that we need
curfew
to
in effect.
add is a little bit of a kind of just
Stay indoors.
a grinding noise or some kind of noise that would be um, would be fit for like, I'm not sure if like a scratching noise or something. I know I have some audio assets, but I don't know if I have something that would sound good for this. No, not really. Let me see. Drawer open. Oh, that's actually not bad. Not sure if you can hear it though, but I think that that would work. So this one, I'm just gonna um, this one should already have like a door audio, so I can just set it to this, and then I can just do door audio. So this is gonna do a play. All right, and we can do the same thing at the end. Whoop, not that. How did I copy that one? All right, so let's get door audio and play and place it right here. And we might need to crank it up a little bit. Let's see if we can set it to 2 and try this again.
Zone 1
Whoa,
curfew
that
in
was
effect.
not the that was not the right audio. Oh, let's see. Did I? No, I did set it to this, but is there somewhere in the construction script where it's being set to something else? Yeah, let's make sure that. Oh, I think there might be. There's actually a variable in here, if I'm not mistaken. Excuse me. Right here. So that's what we wanted to have. I think. Let's see if I'm correct about this.
Zone 1 curfew in effect.
There we go.
Stay indoors.
And I'm hoping you can hear that. Like
Stay indoors.
that little, it's kind of like a wood grinding sound. So yeah, there we go. That's it. Let's um let's test this out in the main level. And I'll get the the path working so that we don't have to climb over that. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. Um, the way the mantling is set up in this ALS system that I have is it looks for a channel which is climbable. So if there's other items around it that also have that channel set and it can't climb on it, it fails. And I think I might have some other either blueprints or something like that around it that is not that channel is not set to ignore, so it's trying to climb on those items and it probably can't, so that's why it's failing here. But I'll do the deed to get that fixed. In the meantime, let's um let's see how I can get the player to climb on top of this. So that should be pretty simple. Just do some plank walks here. I know that I can jump on this one. Okay, let's jump into game mode and see what kind of mess this creates. Yeah, so see, this was where in 5.3 that kind of that loading screen was working fine. I'm not sure what's going on in
So one
5.4,
curfew effect.
um, but we'll figure it
Stay
out.
indoors.
All right, so let's climb over this guy.
Zone 1 curfew in effect.
All right, and we're like in front of the
Stay
window
indoors.
here, so let's see. Oh, I did not set it for this one, so I should just set that up. And that actually worked out
Zone 1
quite a lot
curfew in effect.
smoother. And now that we're inside
Stay
of the
indoors.
building, we'll just do a little bit of testing to see how the navigation still works out here.
Zone 1 curfew
That's
in
pretty
effect.
good. I think this one, I still haven't
Stay
fixed this
indoors.
door to kind of go through it, unfortunately. So that's on my list. Um,
Zone 1 curfew in effect.
I don't think we can exit through here though,
Stay indoors.
but okay. So guys, that's what I wanted to do as a little bit of a shout out to somebody that asked about blueprints last time.
Stay
And
indoors.
so there's a little bit of blueprint work for you. We got a little bit of that done. All right. Yeah, and for the rest of the stream, what I was thinking of doing is actually completing a little bit more of this kind of perimeter fence around the zones. So right now we got kind of this corner junction or this roundabout here with everything coming together into one p place. The patrol paths for the enemy soldiers just going around here. And yeah, so let's see if we can. So there's something going on around here. I'm not sure if I've added. I'm trying to figure out what I've added that it's drawing so much down the performance. Because like if we're over here, it's uh it's not that bad. But over on that side, I'm not entirely sure what I've done that I've kind of halved the performance here. So, oh, I'm actually wondering if it's because I don't think it would be, but it's worth to try. This, I know that volumetric fog is pretty big performance impact, but I was hoping that it's not because of this. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was. That definitely has a not that big of an impact. So, never mind those two little eyes in there. That was just I was playing around with some kind of like Thanksgiving kind of photo, just taking a pic for a Thanksgiving post. All right. Well, so I got the perimeter fence here. Let's just extend this out all the way to the gate here. And let's just bring it back so that it's joining with this piece. And let's see, I want how many more instances? And that's almost there. 46, I think is what I need. All right, so let's position this so it kind of uh, joins with this one, this section here. And we're looking on the x-axis to about there. All right, there we go. And this one could have been a little bit longer. I'm trying to figure out if I want to place the observation post past this garage or yeah, maybe I'll do that. I wanted to move this further back anyways. And yeah, so let's actually take it to this road here. And so this, since these are straight, it's gonna be okay to just bring it this way. Maybe I forgot that I wanted to have some angles in my town, and this is what's coming to bite me a little bit, where the terrain is kind of sloping up. That might not have been the best option. Let's see if I can extend this point, like add a new point in it, and like lift it up a little bit. Yeah, I think that might work. Okay, that's pretty good. Just trying to adjust these to just be above the ground. And I just need to add a few more instances to bring it all the way back and close this up. Yeah, see, I'm not entirely sure what's going on. I've added something over here. I need to look into it, why it's got such a huge draw on performance. I'm not sure if it's that volumetric fog volume, but um, but I'm not saying it isn't. Oh yeah, that was kind of interesting. I just really ballparked 65. Yeah, that works. All right, so we'll close this off here, this little gap, but it's going all the way to here, which is good. So now I'm going to try and close this going this way and closing it off right in here. So I'm going to probably remove or actually use this one. Bring it back here. And what I need to kind of finesse into place here is just one of those corners that I've already used over here. All right, let's see if we can get this one to fit into here. Always try to like keep things on the grid. Should have used a little bit of a larger grid for this, but I'm just almost there. Well, I think that's right about where it should be. Let's see, can we move it up? Is it gonna break anything? Okay, that's pretty good for really just, it was complete eyeball. It wasn't, I literally just eyeballed it. Uh, that was, that came on in the right spot almost. There we go. This one is also pretty dead on. No, not too bad. I mean, I don't think the player is going to carry a magnifying glass with him. Hopefully not. All right, so let's extend this out. And we're going to need a few more of these. Maybe a few more. Okay, we're almost there. And let's see, kind of like an access ramp for this. I can just put it on this side. All right, and then I'm actually just going to use this piece to close this off. And that's going to close off our zone 1. Hey, legends never die. Welcome, welcome. All right, and I just wanted to set a rotation for this to be, where's the rotation? 90, 90. There we go. And oh, it should be, I think, the other way. So that way we have the little pole here ending into that corner. We'll see which one works best. But let me set like these instances. There's too many of them at the moment. Let's put it to about there. All right, so let's grab this corner piece. Place it over here. And let's see. I'm gonna need to scale this. And this is something that I usually only do when it's like blocking items and or anything that's not, it's kind of just a static mesh and you don't climb on it or anything like that. Not I will try and do negative scaling, but other than that, um, is one of those things to kind of stay away from. Okay, so we got the corner. Let's see where we can place this guy. Try and bring it to about where it's supposed to be first. And that is almost there. This part here might not be as exact as the other ones, but we'll try and get it as close as possible. And we're really close, guys. That was a little too much. And yeah, there's like the little bit of a difference here that, you know, like one attachment is on one side, one is on the other side. It's not too horribly looking. So I think I'm fine with it. Let's see where my other point is for this one. I'm gonna try and get it to be above ground, just like that. And we need a few more to about there. And now we'll see if we can um, get this one to join on into this one. It's going to be an interesting one. Let's see. And also, I wanted it to follow the terrain a little bit better. I mean, I can definitely sculpt the terrain as well, which is probably going to be something that I'm going to need to do. But I'm going to try and get it, you know, at least a little closer. So kind of just like this. And now we can sculpt the terrain a little bit. Let's see, maybe for this, I'm just going to try and use a ramp. Kind of like that. There we go. I think that's going to do. All right. And let's bring in the corner. This is going to be interesting because there's like, at least I have some wiggle room on this end. And hopefully I can get those two to match. Let's see. So one is going to be like this, and I think for this one I can reset the scaling. There we go, like that. And I wouldn't mind if these ones overlap. I can, you know, add some like bushes or something in there to like mask it. But I do need to set it to 1.1. It's a little bit bigger. So this one can have one more instance to it. 22. Okay, that's almost where it's supposed to be. Let's see if we can get these to be close. Come on, you're almost there. Okay, so vertical is good. Okay, that could be, oop, the other way. That could be good. There. That's good. All right. And on this side, these guys could be overlapping a little bit that way. I don't mind it. I do mind it going through that rock, so gonna need to paint a little bit of dirt so that the next time I resimulate that, they're not gonna overlap that way. And let's see, maybe what I could do is this one could be 11, actually 11 instances. So that way it's putting it right there. And now I can just grab these pieces. And let's see how we can adjust them to get this into the right place. Hey, that's getting pretty close. Too much, too much. All right, let's just try positioning this one. The other two individual ones will be the easy ones. But this one, okay. Hey, I'll take that. Let's just lift this up a little bit, like this point. And that I'm almost okay with. Let's just try and pull it in this way a little bit more, not by much. And up a little bit. Okay, that I am good with. All right, so let's see how we can adjust these. They don't need too much adjustment. And these are also a lot easier to position than that spline. There we go. That's pretty good. I can actually, I could lift them up even higher. Right on. Okay. Yes, so zone one is locked down, so to speak. So we got the perimeter fence going all the way around and around and around, and I'm getting dizzy. I'm not dizzying you guys too much either. Let's kind of use this one here to adjust it a little bit. Oh, almost there. I don't want that fence to kind of go through that metal. That's perfect right there. Okay, and these ones are also in place. We can add some more around these edges as well, and around here. All right, that's good. Well, let's continue and do zone 4, at least part of it, up until this corner. And just in a similar fashion, we'll extend this out maybe to about here. So maybe it's gonna cut across this in half. And I think that should be good. Hey Breeze, welcome, welcome. It's going pretty good. I'm hard at it. Just getting as much work in as I can. But yeah, I'm not sure what was the last thing that you saw, but I can quickly give you an update of some of the things that happened since then. All right, let's get this one also as a ramp. I think might be a little bit easier to do it. So make a ramp here like that. Smooth this out a little bit. Oh yeah, yeah. So that was so we got that done, and the other thing that I was working on is um, we've so just now I've not sure if you've seen like this the way the town is split into these zones. So there's this zone here, which this is going to be zone 1. This is the one I was showing earlier that you're going to be able to access once you fall out of the airplane. You meet the first NPC, and they're going to point you to access this zone first, and you're going to be able to crawl through the sewer system here, which of course it dumps into the lake, as any environmentally conscious sewage system would do. And so once you get into town, this is going to be kind of how you enter the town. And so in here, there's going to be I can quickly just let's jump into game real quick, and I'll show you. I've added this little announcer blueprint so that depending on the zone of the town you're in, you're also like through audio notified of um, uh, and actually this is video. I think um, I think I should add that as well. So let me know if you can hear it.
Zone 1 curfew
Oh
effect.
yeah, so there's a zone 1. There's an audio for zone 1. So
Stay indoors.
I just cranked this up. Hopefully you can hear the audio. I'm not sure if my volume also matters, but um, so this is also to
Zone 1
tell you
curfew effect.
that okay, perfect.
Stay
Uh,
indoors.
the zone you're in, it's kind of just a repeating loop sound, and they're played around each one of the zones. So to also help you a
Zone
little
1
bit,
curfew effect.
and so the noise fades
Stay
out
indoors.
if you get farther or closer to these announcer points. So this is pretty much the same, kind of just showing that.
Zone 1 curfew effect.
Let me see. Can you? I'm gonna shut up.
Stay indoors. Zone 1 curfew effect. Stay indoors.
Hopefully you can hear that. I've tried to get a little. I've tried to shut shut up a
Zone
little
1
bit.
curfew effect.
So I wanted to make it a little bit of a like an announcer, like a background announcer, um,
Zone
and
1 curfew effect.
So that's
Stay
why.
indoors.
And so now that this zone is separated, um, so you're currently in a safe zone, and so you can see like the enemy, won't shoot you, even if it sees you. Like it would also get a little bit aggressive, like you know,
Get back from the fence.
but you're in a safe zone, and this was really just everything is AI
Get back
generated.
from the fence.
Um, yeah, you can already die in the game.
Get back from the fence.
Unfortunately, I can't exit the zone unless I walk around the map a ton. I don't want to bore you guys with that, but um, so yeah, you can die. Like this guy, if I'm outside of the safe zone, he's gonna be able to kill me. Um, so you can see that once I'm too close to him, he did two of. Yeah, that was uh for this guy, I made him a little bit too odd. So I'll fix that. But that was just kind of a test audio to see when he starts talking back to you, like how does that sound? But yeah, Breeze, you can die. I've died a few times while I was testing these safe zones. Um, so um, so what I did is first the software that I use is 11 Labs, I believe is called. So 11 labs.io. Yeah. So let me show you this thing real quick. And so you can have all these voices. And I wanted to, I think I might have used the robotic voice for the announcement because I wanted to, so it sounds more like a radio, like a recorded type of thing, so, um, and so there's like a ton of options here for you to like generate audios. I mean, text to speech basically. So this is what I was doing earlier. Let's see if you
Get
can.
back from the fence.
I guess that sounds human-ish,
Get back from the fence.
right? It's a little bit too narrating, like it kind of narrates a story. I wish it had a little bit more emotion into it, but um, right now I'm just kind of doing the voice placements so that everybody has a dialogue or something. And but this is a really cool tool. And the other one that I used to change the voice. Oh, the advanced thing is actually pretty interesting. You can do like a little bit more variable. So it does this kind of style exaggeration. It's a little bit more like see if I turn it down a little bit.
Get back from the fence.
Oh, that's actually better. Huh. I think I went a little too high with it, like over 50% may lead to instability. So um,
Get back from the fence.
yeah, see this one is a little bit, I think I like the first one, right? Did you feel like that one was a little bit better?
Get back from the fence.
I kind of like that. Um, so along with this one, what I used was, let me see, I think it's, oh yeah. So along with this one, I used this voicechanger.io to add a little bit more depth to the voice and um, um, a little bit more, kind of change it up a little bit. So let me find one real quick. Actually, let me download this one that we just did. And let me, one second. Um, okay. So yeah, so the one that I just uploaded is this one, get back from the fence. And then with these ones, you can add some pretty cool effects. So I mean, that sounds horrible, and hopefully that didn't blow anybody's ears out. But but yeah, like the ones that I was using, I was playing around with is
Get back from the fence.
this one. It's kind of adds a little bit of a kind of a deeper voice. Get back from the fence. Um, and I think I was using one of these to kind of make it, or maybe no, there was like one that was like radio.
Get back from the fence.
Not this one. What was
Get
it?
back from the fence.
I was using one of these to do the announcer voice, like the announcer audio. Oh, this one,
Get back from the fence.
because it sounds a little bit more tinny. Um, oh, Adobe Audition. I had no idea what that was. I'll have to look that up. Thank you. Thank you, Atlantica. But all of these are free, and um, I'm not sure why I have something against Adobe in general, but exaggerating here. But um, yeah, so Breeze, what I've been using for like cutting and editing audio clips is Audacity, um, because that's also free. So um, yeah. But these are kind of like the, for text generating, this is actually the best balance of price and results that I was able to find through these any kind of like AI generated audio. There might be some better ones out there, but I've searched a few, and it's um it seemed to work so far for like generating a bunch of audios, and they do have a pretty big library of voices, which is good. Oh, yeah. Well, guys, let me try those out. I'm definitely gonna try Adobe and FL Studio. I think I think I might have looked into FL Studio maybe back when I was using CryEngine. If it's the same one, I think they were using something like they had a either FL Studio and VYs or WYs, something like that. Um, but I'll give that a shot and see what you can do for voice changing. Oh yeah, no, Audacity. I felt like Audacity is on the line with like Blender, kind of like free software. So I was pretty happy with it. It never had any pop-ups or anything like that. So it seems to be pretty legit as far as the unwanted software addition to it. But yeah. So Breeze, yeah, that was a few more of the updates. Like earlier in the stream, we did like an interaction with the window so that this window actually slides up before you go through the window to enter some of these spaces. So that's also something that we were looking at. We actually did it during the stream, just adding that mechanic to open up the window. Yeah. Um, okay. So yeah, let's continue with this for a little bit longer. We're getting close on 2 hours here, and we'll I just have to I have to run and help a friend with some brake issues with his car. So gotta get my car mechanics hat on. But but yeah, let's get this corner done here, and I think that might be a good place to end, and we'll finish them off tomorrow. Get some of these in as well. Yeah, let's see, where do we want to place this one? To about here. I guess we need to scale this again. There we go. Did I scale this up? Why is it? Yeah, what I did is I made some changes to this to the original tool with this eye scatter tool, and now it's a little, the scale is a little bit different than what the static mesh is, but these ones should work fine like this. All right, let's get this other piece, and we'll maybe let's use a shorter one. I'm gonna grab this one and place it out here. All right, let's set up the rotation for this. Where's the rotation here? So 90, what did I want to say this one? It's actually 180. Okay, like that. So let's position this a little bit better. Yeah, did I ever mention that I really love this tool? Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. It's actually this. There and there. Okay, that's quite all right. All right, so let's position these points. Oh yeah, the length of that was actually right on where I needed it to be. Try and get this to be above ground as such. There. Okay, that's good. We just need a few more points. I mean, instances. All right. Up. And yep, I need to get this thing here to come out to there. There we go. Oh, maybe it's a little too long, but that might be fine like that. 24. Okay, come on, just one more. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm okay with this fence, at least for now. It kind of it's sunk in a little too much. Let's see, can we fix that? Oh, getting there. Think I should have added another point, but let's see, maybe we can work with what we've got here. Yeah, because it slopes up a little too dramatically, but so having had another point in there might have helped with it a little bit better. Let's see if we can do it like that. Yeah, I think it's almost there. I'll probably add another point just to adjust that a little bit better. But yeah, So we're at the 3 hour mark, everybody. Um, so I'm gonna plan for a stream tomorrow as well, but I'll definitely schedule it on YouTube and post it to Twitter slash Discord definitely. But in case I don't, we still have a few nice days around here, so I might try to go out, which is apparently healthy for you. But yeah, if I'm gonna stream tomorrow, I'm gonna post it on the socials. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by and taking some time out of your day. And if I do stream tomorrow, I hope to see you then. If not, definitely see you next week. All right. Have a great rest of your Saturday, everybody. Take care. Bye, Breeze. Bye, Atlantica. Bye, everybody.